Did it switch over? Yeah. We're going to try this internet and see if this is better. Okay, let's see.
It was weird because earlier she said it looks like you're in courtside.
Oh. Okay. We'll see if that made any difference. Oh, yay. Okay.
We're so sorry, guys. I was sitting here yapping
He
away,
was just talking,
thinking that you guys could hear me, and then she's over here texting with John, and John's like, "No, we can't see or hear you." So he didn't even know that we were here.
Just like blah 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 blah. Wait,
man, I said some most incredible stuff. It was really sort of groundbreaking, some of my best material, but it's all gone.
No, it wasn't. Okay. So let's try that again. Hi, guys. Oh, my word. We were at the Quartzsite RV show all day today. And
yeah, so
just got back.
T-Mobile doesn't work very well out here. We're outside of Quartzsite. Maybe you can't. Now, I think you tried to show our background.
Before. Yeah. So there you go. That's we're boondocking way out Plamosa Road in Quartzsite, away from all the crowds.
Yeah, so which is kind of cool. So if you've ever thought about coming to Quartzsite, Quartzsite's not a bad place. It's just very different. So if you're not familiar, you've probably heard of it. It's the Quartzsite, Arizona is right next to the border of California. So but it is basically, it's almost like, I hate to put it this way, but it's sort of like a shanty town. And I think so it's like, there's hardly, it feels like even like the stores and all this kind of stuff are not permanent. You know, a lot of them are literally under tents, or they're on these just sort of like these cheap aluminum buildings and stuff like that. And then the grocery stores are extremely small.
Oh my gosh, like 5 aisles.
Yeah, really, and they're teeny. It's like a grocery liquor store / hardware store, you know, and probably if you want to score some weed there, you could probably I don't know about that, but it's
an interesting place. It's definitely a seasonal place. When the show is not going and when season isn't in, it's just dead. So it's
because I'm sure it's 120 degrees here in the summer. Nobody wants to be here. So, but obviously there's other cities that exist, but around here, I get there's no houses hardly. It's all just RV parks and then thousands of people boondocking.
Yeah. It's nuts. Like in the areas where it's like you buy the season, like you buy a pass for the season, and that gets you like trash. And I think there's some pump out services and stuff that might come in there, but basically they're so like, I don't understand it. It's like not a tent city, it's an RV city, but everybody's so close. But it gives a lot of people community while they're out here. So I get that part. It's just not how we roll. So we went as far down the road as we could to get kind of away from everybody. And that's a little bit better. You can see the view is really pretty out here. So
yeah. And the reason we're here is because last week we were at the Escapers Bash event that happens every year at the beginning of January.
Gigi was there.
Yeah, we hung out with Gigi and Jeremiah, her husband, and had a good time. And we'll talk about the Escapers event as well. We had a good time. It had some pros and cons, but and then we have the Quartzsite. They call it the Quartzsite RV show, and that's another one. Not so much. It's not an RV.
There are some RVs here, not that many.
Yeah, a handful, really. It's just probably like one dealer brings.
It is so different from the Florida and Hershey shows. You almost can't even compare it. It's a completely different kind of show. It was very flea market-y, which even people who come here a lot every year said this year more than any, there was less RV stuff than normal. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they had this giant tent. I'm like, wow, that's probably one of the biggest tents I've ever seen. Okay, cool. Because it's not hot here, but sometimes it's up and down. The sun bakes pretty well on certain times of the day. And so you got to take your shirt, your jacket off or whatever. and then but the wind is pretty cool. So sometimes when you're in the shade, it gets kind of cool. So anyway, so you're going in this big tent. It's kind of nice, and there's all these booths. So when I first walked in, I was like, wow, hopefully we're going to see some cool new RV stuff. There was very little RV stuff. In fact, here I'll tell you. I'll show you the one thing that I did buy.
We only bought one thing. Well, we bought a couple.
So the liquefied booth was there. So that's. But I happened to notice that right next to the liquefied booth, there was a lady that was selling. Now this looks like I looked at it and I said, "That's odd. She has her salsa in a coffee can." But that's not what it is. It's actually salsa spices in a coffee can. And her pitch was, you can make your own salsa by putting a scoop of this stuff in it with like stewed tomatoes or whatever.
Like a can of stewed tomatoes.
Yeah, and it's going to cost you like 90 cents a jar. And I'm like, think you got my attention because we eat so much freaking salsa. So
and we'll get in places where they have like no good salsa.
Yeah.
So I just assume use this.
And she had samples and we thought it was really good. So we bought some.
So now, it was that kind of it was a mix. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was RV stuff for sure. Big Beer batteries, there was a bunch of brands and stuff there, but not like Tampa and Hershey. So if you're going to go there for specifically to look at every kind of RV you want to look at, this is not the show. No. So, but it was still cool. They had an influencer meetup the first night,
and that was a mess.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. This number can't even. It doesn't make any sense to me, but they said last year there was like 30 influencers. This year there were 300. I'm like, what?
I don't know if that's right, but there were so many people there. Most of the people, even that you like, we have people say we intended on saying hi, but we couldn't get to.
It was a mess. They were going to have it in this little tent, and that wasn't going to work. And then they had all these people, and there was no leadership. Nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah, I think they learned a lot of lessons, but with this, I think they're going to probably qualify people a little bit more and then maybe find a better area for it or something. But it was still fun. It was great to talk to so many people. There were several people that are in the course community that came to that, which was kind of cool. We got to see some, so we're friends with, there's a lot of channels we're friends with. The Border Hookups, Untethered, Open Roading was there. We got to meet Trinity. If you watch Open Roading, their doggy.
Sweet doggy.
It was cool, but yeah, we were there all day today. We're a little pooped.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't been on the live stream or haven't been on one in a while, because it's been a while since we've done one, please ask your questions.
Put them in there and we'll just start answering them. Otherwise, we're just going to talk. So please ask your questions.
Yeah, exactly. We're just covering, we're just filling time. No, I mean, we wanted you to, because we've obviously a lot's happened since we last spoke. Yeah. And it's been a little tough for us to keep up with the content and doing the holidays. We're no different than anybody else.
Yeah.
It's, we have a lot going on. And then between the Escapers event, which we took part in, which was awesome. And then coming to courtside. And then we had some little stuff going on in between that you're going to see in some videos, some accidents and some craziness.
Yeah.
But so we'll tell you about those things, but please,
this
is for you. It's really meant to answer any question that you have. It doesn't matter, even if it's in the course, that's okay. Yeah. You can ask for clarification, or if you just didn't quite get through the course, that's okay.
That's okay too. Just ask it. It's just, this is a time for us to elaborate on your questions so we can really give you really thorough answers. Yeah. Oh, good. That's great, Leslie. I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about Escapers. So in case you're unfamiliar, we use Escapees as our, it's a company that they help us with our domicile, and that's how we get our mail.
Yeah.
And I think we covered that in the course. And there's other services that do it, but we choose to go through them, and they have a membership, and so, but as part of their membership, you can come to these events. I mean, you still have to pay separately for the events. And so they do Escapers events all over the country. So
it's supposed to be working nomads. It's kind of, not everybody is, but that's kind of the idea is, yes, there are some things going on during the day on these events, but a lot of people are working. And then the real stuff comes in the evenings. And that's where there's lots of different music, They have like they do this thing called the Escapers Olympics where you get into teams and you do these silly games.
They had Twister.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, and stuff like that. It was fun. We didn't participate in that. Darlene actually won.
I won something.
The best dressed. So they had a night where you're like, what was the theme?
Vintage glam.
So she was Audrey Hepburn. I don't know if you posted
Breakfast
the photo.
at Tiffany's. I haven't. I'll have to post it in the group. We're so behind on posting. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, and honestly, it was a little bit last minute, so I'm kind of tickled it turned out so well. But I played it up, Yeah, a little drama.
So there was that, and then they, like during the day for the people that don't really have to work or whatever, there's pickleball. They had it at this facility. It's a huge rodeo facility that's there in Quartzsite, and they had really, really nice pickleball courts. I still didn't make it out there. That was one total fail on my part. I still have never played pickleball.
Yeah.
I even have pickleball rackets. I've never even taken them out of the package.
But we did lots of hiking, biking, all kinds of stuff. Oh, okay. Can you guys tell us a little about Thousand Trails? I know you guys don't use them, but we have talked about maybe, yes. So the best thing you can do, for anyone who doesn't know what Thousand Trails is, it's kind of like a membership, but it basically allows you to camp at certain campgrounds, and there's different levels of membership and different rules. But it saves you a lot of money. You are bound to those campgrounds. But there's a lot of them. So there's a lot of variety. There are regional packages, there are national packages, there are packages where you can be in a park for 2 weeks, out of a park for 2 weeks, so you can't stay like a month at a place. Most likely you have to be in and out, unless you have like this elite membership, I think. So there's all kinds of different ones. The best thing I have been told is if you think you're going to do Thousand Trails, to use a broker who will find out what you're wanting to do and help you find the package that's right for you. And I think I have some references of people who do that. So if you need someone, I'll dig that information up. I need to put it in the course. In fact, I will make a note to put it in the course. Because we don't do it, we don't, because honestly, we camp so much off grid and we're only in certain regions so often. So it just doesn't make sense, but it saves a lot of money. So I can totally see why you would want to do it.
Yeah, and isn't it like really beneficial if you want to stay in the east?
Yeah, so there's like regional ones. So if you need to hover in a certain area most of the time, you can get that region. So obviously that's less expensive than getting like the whole United States.
Yeah, because we're not big fans of staying out east. Well, probably because we we like to boondock, and we don't like to stay at RV parks all the time if we can avoid it. But let's just say that's the idea of you. Actually, we were talking to Untethered today, and this is the first time they've been out west.
Yeah,
and they're originally from Arkansas.
Yep.
And I mean, their channel's been around quite a while, and I was like, and he was like, we love it here, and I was like, yeah. So I'm thinking about all the years that they've been RVing. They've been in the other part of the country. They've been out east. So if say you're not full time, say you're want to be a part-timer or whatever, if you want to go whatever your situation is and you can't travel across the country, you need to hover around the eastern parts, the Midwest or whatever,
Florida,
even Florida. I know they have kind of a famous park where they have Key West.
Yeah,
as part of it.
I think the only challenge, obviously, it's just like being in Arizona in the winter, being in Florida in the winter. Everybody who's Thousand Trails are going to be trying to get into those places. So you need to, if you talk to a broker, if you talk to somebody, you need to talk to them about that and make sure. I know some people have a level that gives them priority somehow. That might be something. If you really want to be only in Florida in the winter or something like that, that probably is a question you should ask.
Yeah. And I think just because you have a membership doesn't mean that you're going to automatically be able to get a campground.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, there's limited spots. And I've also heard things like, well, they're not the nicest campgrounds.
Yeah. Now,
here's how we feel about that. After having done this for 4 years, the nice, nobody wants to stay at a dump. Nobody wants to stay at a place that feels sketchy, where you're feeling like you come in and everything's like really run down, or
Yeah, I don't think they're like that.
yeah. So, but here's my point is that, but then after doing this for so long, if I pull into some place that's not a resort, or doesn't have a pool, or doesn't have all these kind of amenities, I'm like, that's not why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here because they have three things: water, power, and sewer.
Yeah. And
Dude,
that's kind of how we feel about it. So, but there are nicer ones. There are some that aren't as nice. But if it's not going to be like Club Margaritaville or well, it's not going to be that level kind of thing, but they're usually good, solid campgrounds. And I know a lot of people, like the one, like Barry said, friends of ours were down in the Key West when they loved it. So, yeah.
But if you ever get the chance to go to Key West, or just the Keys in general, if you've never been, we haven't been in our RV, but as Floridians, we went down there. It is truly a special place.
Yeah, it is.
It's, for just the sheer nature of it. And charter a boat. Just make sure that you take your seasickness thing with you, because it's so pretty. Go catch some fish, because it is the most amazing wildlife down there.
Leslie was asking, do we know any solo RVers? Oh yeah, you're solo. Okay, finding groups. Now, I will reach out for you if you poke me and remind me if I don't do it. So I have an acquaintance, and she is a solo retired traveler. And I know she travels with other women who are also solo travelers. I know there are a lot in the Southwest and the West, but I know they go all over the place. But they're in a Facebook group. And I know that there's a solo RVer women's Facebook group. I'm sure there's multiple. So if I don't remember, Leslie, reach out and I will try to find her contact information for you. If nothing else, I'll ask her where you should look. Okay.
Yeah. And I think escapers would probably have something like that. I mean, we definitely, because there were probably, how many rigs at Bash, you think?
Several hundred.
Yeah, several hundred. There was a thing, Harvest Host bought Escapees. And when they did, it was a kind of a big deal, because Escapees has been around for a very long time.
Like 30 years or something.
Yeah, and there's, just like any organization like that, new management comes in, or new ownership comes in, the old management gets out, and new management comes in. All the people that are members, they get upset. And there's literally been an offshoot group of people that don't like the new Escapees, and they're trying to create their own group. We have nothing to do with that.
But there are groups within that membership just like that, where there are like solo travelers. So at the Escapers event, there was a solo section to put the solo people together so they can meet each other. So that's kind of cool if you can find events like that too. So
yeah. So the thing is with the Escapees deal, or with Escapers, is that yes, the event we've been to several Escapers events. Was it that much different? No, it really wasn't. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But you know what? I don't go to those events to be quote unquote entertained. I mean, some of the entertainment was pretty good. In fact, the most fun that they had, I think, was at the talent show.
Yeah.
And that's all self-provided entertainment. But but the thing is, I'm there to meet people, and that was mission accomplished. We met a few couples that we really got along with, and that's a win.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
And I know Gigi can say the same thing. I know she met a lot of people when she was there too.
Yeah, so. And this my point with bringing all that up, Leslie, was I think that would be a great place because chances are very good if there's other solo travelers who show up to that event, they want to do the same thing. Why else would you come?
Yep.
So we signed up for Harvest Host. Christina says at the Tampa show they were giving 30% off. They sent us a gift code that we're supposed to apply, and it's not working. Customer service has been poor so far. Anyone else? Well, that stinks. We actually just saw Harvest Host at the event.
Thing. Yeah, that's weird. If you can't get through, I might be able to ask my contact, but keep trying because maybe they just glitched it. Something.
Well, let's just
I mean,
Yeah, reach out to Darlene.
I was going to say my lady, she's the marketing lady, but
yeah,
she could
but
at least
still, I mean, if we
send a note,
if we come out swinging and tell her, hey, you need to get your act together, she'll. No, that's. I mean, that should kind of embarrass them a little bit. It's no excuse, but because they're doing the Tampa show, they have a group here at the Quartzsite show. They're probably a little overextended, if you will, or maybe they're,
oh,
but
it's a bot. Okay, so when you went through the chat, you just got a bot. All right. So if you did that recently, and they don't respond, for sure, Christine, poke me, and I will get you at least an email, someone to call or something. They've got to have something somewhere. So that's silly, especially if you got a deal at the show. That would be a lot of people unhappy if they sold that at the show and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there was a lot of talk recently. I know, Natalie, I think I saw you come on, and we've had a lot of conversations with people about going full time and that whole process and how it can get overwhelming. And some days you're just like, oh my God, have we made the worst mistake ever? Absolutely going to happen. It's going to happen more than once. And it's just the overwhelm of the tasks that you have ahead of you. I mean, it really is, because you just have all these things you're juggling in order to get out, right? And it's just take a day, step away from everything, take a day to not think about it, take a day to give it a rest. And when you are calmed down and kind of feel a little refreshed, start biting it off piece by piece. Don't try to do everything all at once. Focus your energy, accomplish one task, go to the next task. Because when you're trying to do 20 things at once, that's overwhelm. That's when the overwhelm hits for me. So I hear you, girl. I think a lot of people chimed in and said, yep, been there, done that. So know that you are not alone in that. And hell, I do that on the road now.
You were doing that yesterday.
I think I was just like, I gotta do this. And
we're so overwhelmed with content. We've got so much content that we need to put out. We're trying to do 6 videos a month, and we're behind. And I'm actually traveling back to Indiana just for a few days to go visit family, and then she's kind of fretting about that because we've just got so much to do. But it'll get done. Yeah. It'll be fine. And then I find out that I'm flying back to Indiana pretty much during a snowstorm. So there's that.
Yeah, he leaves Saturday to fly to Indiana, and that's when the bulk of it's hitting in Indiana. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, so John, do you, Barry, and Darlene get an extended warranty on your new Alliance? If so, details. No, we have just the regular warranty.
Yeah.
We have talked to an extended warranty. I would have definitely, if I was going to hold on, if we would have held on to the Valor,
yeah, we would have done it.
We absolutely would have done the extended warranty.
Yeah, and I have a reference for that I can pull out and put in the group as well. We just haven't really had enough time to really dive in and work with them. The people that bought the Valor used them. And in fact, I should reach out to them because they had a claim. So the person who transported the Valor from Elkhart when we sold it to them to their spot in Yuma damaged it, damaged the back bumper en route. So I don't know if I don't think
seems like that would be on the insurance.
It would probably be on the insurance of the
transport.
Yeah. So I don't know if they've ever had to use it, but
we heard good things about it.
Yeah, we did hear good things.
I would also highly recommend getting an extended warranty for your truck if you can.
Mm-hmm.
That has, this is another video that we haven't published that we have the footage of, but I had this weird deal that happened about, I guess it happened over time, but basically the starter on my 2022 F-350 had this god awful scraping noise every now and then. It wouldn't start. And, long story short, it turned out to be the flywheel. There's a flywheel there. The way that it's weird. So, basically the starter is supposed to engage this flywheel, and it was missing literally 3 teeth on the flywheel. And so it was deep engine work. I think they had to take the transmission out, all that kind of stuff. if I would have had to pay for that out of pocket, it would have been at least $3,000. And we had just bought $2,600 worth of tires. Turns out we have an extended warranty because the truck has 65,000 miles on it at the time. And I ended up walking out of there for $200.
So good deal.
Yeah. And so also my friend Carl, who has an older Ram, who travels quite a bit. He actually pulls a big Momentum. He can't say enough good things about his extended warranty because he's just like, dude, this truck has had so many problems. Once he crossed over 100,000 miles on his truck, it's just like it's something every other month.
Yeah, the company that we talked to them on the phone, we sat down with them and kind of chit-chatted about working with them, is Wholesale Warranties. And I've seen their name in a lot of places. I think they've been around a really long time. But again, I have some information I can send you guys, so that'll help you. Jim and Nat, if you go to events, if there's a solar section, they technically don't allow the generators. And that's why we chose the general section, because we wanted the option of running a generator. However, we had a good spot, but there was a gentleman in the general section that ran his generator the whole time. So it's a little
not the whole time. I mean,
that's what the neighbors said, the people that were next to them.
Well, okay.
A lot. He ran it. They have hours that you can run it. So they can't run it overnight.
The guy in front of us had his in the back of the truck, and he had one of the small ones, and he ran it quite a bit. It was kind of loud. We ran our generator quite a bit, to be honest.
We did. Yeah. And we knew we would need to, because winter's sun is very different. So you don't get that peak sun right on top of your solar for long, unless you're going to move your panels around. So we had to top off. So, but different sections have different rules. It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Here, the dog's about to explode. I gotta get him some food.
All right. So, let's see here. Let me go back up, make sure I got all these. Gosh, John, I can't believe you're 37 days before you're out. That is crazy. It's gone by too fast. I know it hasn't for you probably, but it seems like it was just the other day. I know. Oh, I will tell you that the solar section, if it's like, I know one year it was like super cloudy or something, or rainy, and they did allow the solar section to run. Like they said, okay, you can go ahead and run these times. I didn't not hear that this year. So I did not hear that they could run it in the solar section.
Yeah. And I just filmed. Is that the word? Or do we film things?
It's not film.
I know it's not film.
Record?
We just shot. We just recorded the video. You'd think we would know that, but to me, it's always going to be filmed because I'm old school.
That's where, as I was going to say, it's because we're old.
Anyway, did the third RV5 video that I've been promising, and the reason I've been holding out on that for so long is just because there was a bunch of things that I needed to do, that I knew that I needed to do, and I wanted to get it. I wanted my third video to be complete. Like, okay, this is the setup. I finally got it figured out. So, but my point with bringing all that up was so now we're out here boondocking. Obviously, we're using the RV5. And what we've definitely discovered is, because we weren't as aware of the whole low sun thing, but it is definitely a deal. It's basically if you can imagine that the sun basically stays closer to the horizon. So like right behind us, this window, I mean, the sun comes beaming in every morning. It is bright as can be. We put our awnings down and try to block it a little bit. And then, I mean, so the sun is intense, but it doesn't rise very high, or it lingers on that side of the RV for a long time. Well, that doesn't really help us too much, right? Yeah. Because our solar panels are right above us. They're straight up.
Depending on which way you're situated, your air conditioner could be shading part of your panels. So those are all things you need to think about when you position yourself as well. We're terrible at it. We don't even think about it. We just go for the best view.
Yeah. And so
best view.
Yeah, there you go. But one thing, in fact, I had a guy, to be honest, he was a little obnoxious. He was pretty opinionated. That kind of, I watch your channel all the time, but I can't believe you don't use deployables or portable solar panels. They're the only way you should go. I don't believe that anybody should have rooftop solar. And and then he's like, you're crazy not to use a DC to DC convert or charger on your truck too. You're crazy. And I was like, okay, dude.
You do it all, dude.
It's like it's cool that you have that, but I'm not crazy for doing something a little differently than the way that you do. However, I thought, the deployable thing, I think that there's some legitimacy there, because you'll see a lot of that. You'll see these, because there's so many people, well, pretty much everybody in Quartzite's doing solar, unless you're in an RV park, and you'll see a lot of people that have solar panels just leaning on the side of their RV, or just kind of out in the
front of them.
In the front.
Because you can move them around too. So
yeah, and then you'll also see those people that have the tilted panels. Believe it or not, we had those on our Valor. Hated it.
It's such a pain to get up there and tilt them.
Because who the heck wants to climb on their roof and go? And I mean, the ones that I bought, I probably brought the wrong thing. I just bought them at the place where we got the panels. It was such a pain to deal with those things. So I'm sure there was better equipment out there, but
don't we have tilt or the portable panels coming? Or
we do. Blue Eddy has officially come on as a sponsor, so I'm going to be talking about some of their other products. One of the topics that I'm going to talk about, they've got a new product coming out called the Elite 300, and it has a 30 amp input on it, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's the step up from that 200 model that we have. But then as part of that video, they're going to go ahead and send me a solar panel. And we're going to talk about, because we actually talked to a nice couple that came to the meet and greet at the Quartzite show, and he was actually super nervous about boondocking and the whole solar bit. And I said, look, man, it's awesome, but I get it. It's such a big deal to put solar on your roof and install this, that, the other thing, and spend all this money. But at the end of the day, you don't really need to do that. Now, I don't think you should run a generator 24/7. I think that would be a drag. But if you could, the meet in the middle thing is you spend maybe a couple $1,000s, $1,500, whatever it turns out to be. I don't even know what the price of that unit's going to be. And you can have all the electricity. No, you can't run your air conditioners, but you could literally plug a 30 amp cord into this thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you guys ever go to a state park, sometimes you're going to run into places that only have 30 amp.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal at all.
No. I mean, I think Nat was asking, or somebody was asking about the costs of, are you asking about the costs of putting in the Blue Eddy thing that we have, the RV5, or just having someone do your solar in general? Because that's going to be really dependent on what the setup is. So, and honestly, a lot of solar techs are different prices. So it's kind of hard to say.
So in open roading, just put the tilt panels on.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Seems like a total pain to put them.
And that's what it felt like. It's like to get up there and tilt them. I mean, I feel like if you're in the same spot for a while, you could just tilt them and leave it. We've done that a couple times, but honestly, it just was such a pain. We stopped doing it. And it could be the kind of tilt we have. It was like the little thing that screwed in. He would get up there and I could hear him cussing the whole time he was up there, just trying to get.
It was hard to get my hand underneath it. It was just a pain. But anyway, and the thing is about open roading, they're young, pretty good shape or whatever. A lot of older people, or people that are a little bit more infirmed. In fact, the guy that was giving me the hard time at the show, he's like, I am not going to get on my roof. And I thought, well,
a lot of people aren't going to get on the roof.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's right for some, but not for all.
Yeah. I agree. I wouldn't want to tilt, but I guess if you're stationary a long time, it might be worth it for some. Yeah. In fact, the camper that's right down here, our neighbor, which is about a football field's length away, awesome. They've got tilted panels and they're pointed right at the sun that I was talking about.
So I get it. I mean, I get the benefit of that. So
okay, Coach John says Apex 300 has a 50 amp. Yeah, I know, and that's why we were so interested in that. And I may end up with Blue Eddy. I may end up go ahead and get an Apex 300 and have them ship it to me, and I'll do a review on it. I'll talk about, because I think it was some of our content moving forward, because we're so into boondocking, and I think these are interesting new products that are on the market that, frankly, I mean, I'm sure some of this stuff existed when we started, but we just weren't as
yeah, we weren't aware of it.
And it's and you know, and even at the Quartzsite show, there's other companies. You know, I don't know anything about their products, but they all look kind of similar to Blue Eddy.
Yeah.
There's lots of them out there. Competition is good.
Yep.
That's what drives up innovation and drives prices down.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's a great opportunity for people to get out there and experience this lifestyle without the huge budget.
Mhm.
So
I saw recently someone said it's better to leave your gray tank open when you're connected to shore. Any thoughts? Okay, don't do that. Totally. I've asked 2 different tank specialists, you know, the guys that come out and clean your tanks and maintain your, you know, help you get them back when they've gotten really bad. All of them said always closed. They're holding tanks. The only time I would ever open my gray tank is when I was doing laundry. That was the only time.
Better
ask us how we know, because water came pouring out of that closet.
Oh my God! It comes because it's got like this pipe thing that goes, and it came spewing out of the top. Oh my God!
So that was the only time that I would leave something open. It was only while I was doing the laundry, and then I would close it, because you want as much liquid in there as possible. Dry tanks are stinky, festering nastiness tanks. You want everything to be in there with your tank treatment to get it and then swish it out. You want that pressure when you swish it out. You don't want things just dribbling down at the bottom, getting all gross.
Okay, I know something about a gray tank now that I've seen one up and close and personal. We haven't told you guys.
We haven't told anybody yet. Oh my gosh!
And you're going to see the
Gigi
video.
knows.
You're going to see the video coming soon. Okay, so it was right before Christmas. We were in Pensacola, and we are at an Elks Club. We're one of like 4 RVs at this place, and we're pretty much boondocking. Well, they had hookups, but they didn't have a dump station.
No sewer.
No sewer at the
place spots, but they had a dump station just across the parking lot.
Right. So we're all packed up, hooked up, everything. We're literally about to leave and go dump. Darlene and I are just chatting outside the RV, and then we hear this god awful loud sound. It was bad.
It was so loud. It felt like something almost hit the RV, because it was like we shook. We were like, oh my gosh, so loud. So we go running out.
Yeah, we go running around the other side of the RV, and what do we see? One of our tanks is laying on the ground with wires underneath it. Our whole
water pouring out of it.
Obviously our underbelly thing is all crashed out. It was our gray tank. Thank God it wasn't a black tank, but immediately your thoughts are it's a black tank. So long story short, our kitchen gray fell out of the RV. And the reason it did, and I got up close and personal with the tech, and I learned how this stuff works. So I got to do that.
It's very hard to explain.
It's not hard to explain. Let me just, okay. So you have one beam under there that is a part of the chassis, right? It's at a perfect 90 degrees. And the way those things work, they have lips on them. On the sides of the gray tank, they have these.
I'm trying to put you in the.
They have these lips, and one lip goes under the permanent 90-degree thing, and then whenever they install it at the factory, they do the other side. They take another beam that's loose, and then they put that under the tank, and then they drill in self-tapping screws into the chassis, and it's supposed to hold it in. Well, obviously, both of those are supposed to be total 90 degrees. But when the tech got up under there to see what the heck happened, there was a slight angle. So they just didn't put it in there.
So that when the tank got completely full, so literally we were full and we were getting ready to cross back over to the dump station to dump it, the weight of all that water, and because that was at a tilt, it let it slip out, and then it just fell down on the ground, and it brought everything down with it. And the craziest thing is we were both, our initial reaction, of course, I think we were saying, oh no, we both thought it was black.
And we got it on film.
We did.
At least we're enough influencers enough that we're like, oh crap, we got to get this on film. Oh crap. And so anyway, so that's what happened. But the reason I bring that up is we'll tell the whole story later or whatever. But so the thing completely empties, of course, and then we ended up pulling it out because we had to get to Mississippi. You guys maybe saw our Mississippi video over the holidays, which was great. We had to get there the next day because our daughter was supposed to be there. Her flight was going to be there. And so we ended up taking the now empty tank out, putting it in the back of the truck. And then we just taped everything up and we were able to at least travel over to Mississippi. But with that, I saw what the tanks look like up close and personal. So going back to that whole thing. So the way these things work is that they have a slight angle. Well, if you can imagine, the output of those tanks is right slightly above this angle that's down. So if you have this trickle of water that just keeps going out, you're going to have this buildup of gunk that happens right on that lip. That's why if you got, again, we talk about it in the course, we've talked about it in other videos, you got to get yourself a reverse flush.
Yeah.
I don't understand the mechanics of why it works this way, but if you talk to any of these guys like Clean Tank or that clean out all these tanks, they love the reverse flush.
That's the Flush King thing that you put on the outside.
So it's basically the thing that it takes water from the outside, you spray it in, you close, like, so you focus on one tank at a time. So you'll open, say, your kitchen gray tank, leave all the other tanks closed, and you've got a hose of water.
Look at them.
That's just I'm doing my visual. They don't, and then you have this water that sprays in there, but for whatever reason, I don't understand why, that spray of water that's coming in, it really helps loosen that stuff up that gets caught along that ridge. And so the proof's in the pudding. I mean, you'll have what seems to be a clean tank that's got clear water coming out. You start doing that reverse flush, you could do it 5 times and still have gunk coming out of it.
So the built-in, especially the black tank, when it's not going to do that much. It's in a pinch, it's fine, but that Flush King really gets in there and makes a big difference. So it's coming. We have a whole series of oh crap moments coming. They all happened within about a 3-week period. We had a tire on the truck. They ended up getting all new tires on the truck because of basically we figured out it was all of them needed replaced. And then our truck broke down, had to get it towed, all that stuff. Oh, that was a kind of crap show. That was so funny because we had to go to a Starbucks to upload a video because where we were at in Florida, it was so remote, nothing was working. We had a lot of tree cover. So we go to the Starbucks and then the upload wouldn't work, which was ironic. So we get back out to the truck and it wouldn't start. And it's like 4 or 5 o'clock on a Friday. And we were like, we called the only car rental place, no cars.
They had no cars. So we got an Uber that took us all the way back to the state park. And thank God I was so thankful.
We were thankful for it. But then we got to the state park, realized we left the code to the gate in the truck that had to leave in the parking lot.
And so he dropped us off at the front
and
gate.
It was raining and we had to walk in the rain through the little path trying to find our way back.
Using our phones as flashlights.
It was so funny. I mean, you couldn't help but laugh, guys. I mean, there's a point where you're just like, this stuff happens and you're just like, of course it's raining. Of course we can't see. And we're literally in the middle of the forest, pitch black. So funny.
All right, we got some more comments here.
All right.
So Jim and I talked to Nomad Neil recently, and it is a lot if we want to really build out a system that can run ACs. He discussed bifacial panels and just a little bit more. You can increase your solar input. Yeah, we had bifacial panels on the
Valor.
On the Valor. So I had bifacial panels and I also had the tilted thing. Didn't go that route this time. Mm-hmm. I think the bifacial panels make sense if you're going to tilt. The idea with the bifacial panels, in case you're unaware, is basically it has solar panels on both sides of the panel. And the idea is like, well, why would you care about that? It's because when the sun comes down and it reflects and
I'm gonna
hits
sneeze.
the mostly white roofs, you're going to get some power off of the reflection. And I mean, it does work. Um, but I think you pretty much would have to tilt if that was the case. I mean, it's not going to work unless you do tilt. So I'm not against bifacial panels, but I think you're kind of much, you have to look in the tilting. If you're going to get into the tilting, definitely look at the mechanics of, know what you're buying and read the reviews, because if it is a pain in the butt for you to get up there and get them to tilt, you're just not going to do it. And then now your bifacial panels aren't worth anything, and so I just decided not to go that route. I just got a bunch of Renogy 200-watt panels, put them all over the roof, not bifacial, no tilting, done with it. Okay, so let's see, laundromats for the win.
Oh, it's Gigi's talking about me. Yeah, I love my laundromats. So, I gifted myself an EcoFlow Delta 2 with extra battery and 400 cell suitcase. Nice. That's a cool gift. I think that's Allison. Run my Starlink laptop monitors. I tell you what, Barry has been working on a lot in the rig, and he's had to turn the power off. That little Bluetti, the 200, the Elite 200, the little box one that we have, I ran so much on that for so long.
Yeah.
For like days. It was crazy. I ran my computer, my laptop, two monitors, my laptop, cooked on the air fryer, our phones. I mean, it's a champ. Those things, that's such a nice extra to have, regardless that we have the whole system. It's just nice as a backup.
Yeah, and you can even it has like a cigarette lighter output, and you could plug. It doesn't include those types of cables. You'd have to get them, but they're like those alligator clip cables. So if you ever need to use it as a 12-volt battery, you can. And I've had to do that once. It was pretty awesome, I thought. Have you seen the cord adapter with 30 amp and then a standard 15 amp house plug to give you 45 amps?
We have the 50 to 30. We have the 30 to 15. So I guess we could do that. We just never used it.
Have you seen the cord adapter?
I don't know what 45.
Are you talking about the dog bones? We have dog bones for all.
Yeah.
So we definitely use the one where you have to go from 50 down to 30, because that does happen
quite a bit.
Relatively.
When we use the generator we had before, the little one.
Yeah, like our generator that we have now, the Onan, the portable generator, that is a 30 amp output. So we have to use the dog bone in order to, we plug our 50 amp cord into it, and then we plug into the 30 amp space. We have been to, it's very, very rare that we would ever actually have to size the 30 amp down to a 15 amp, but we can if we needed to.
For mooch docking or something like that.
I'm not 100% sure if that's what you're asking.
I'm sorry.
Got liquefied gray tank treatment at the show. We had an egg smell coming from the gray tank. The treatment works great. No more smell.
If we ever get a smell, it's the kitchen gray.
Yeah, it's true. We had a lot of issues. In fact, one of my earliest videos, if you guys ever have a mystery smell that you cannot get rid of in the RV, it sucks, but it happens more often than, and it's usually the gray tank. There's a known issue. It's pretty much industry wide, that for whatever reason, you think these guys will get it together, but you've got these exhaust fans that, if you go up on the roof, there's all these exhausts, right? Well, sometimes so they have these pipes that run up, and they've got these little caps on them, right? And so what they're supposed to do is those pipes are supposed to run all the way over the top of the roof and kind of extend into the cap. And inevitably, for whatever reason, these guys cut them too short. And these pipes, so the exhaust pipes they go down below the roof a little bit. So I went up there, and this is after reading a Facebook post. I was pulling my hair out, and I don't have much hair to pull out, I'm telling you. Trying to figure out what this stupid smell was, why it wouldn't go away. And sure enough, I pulled all three of those exhaust caps off, and all three of them were too short. And so what happens is, they say that the smell comes out of this exhaust pipe, and then it kind of works its way somehow into
It's your attic.
I don't know, like, what's that
It
even mean?
basically cycles back into the RV.
Yeah, I mean, you have an attic, so like if you like one time we had a leak in our that came down through our light fixture, and so we had to get up under the light fixture and all that kind of stuff and get the the dry down the insulation and all that. So you have an attic or a roof. I guess that's what that means. But yeah. So how we solved the problem is have you ever seen those whirly, what are they, those things? They're like these
cyclones.
Yeah, these little fan cycle.
That's what they're called.
These cheap little plastic things, but they just
looks like a fin.
They spin in the wind.
Yeah.
Well, so I got one of those. I got 3 of them, and I put those on top of those caps. So basically, you take the exhaust thing off, and you put these cap things on, and they just kind of freely move in the wind. But more importantly, that extended the cap to where it's properly going all the way above the roof, and then this exhaust just kind of solve the problem.
Plus, according to the tank ranger guy, the gray tank in the kitchen is usually the nastiest one.
Well, think about that. Even if you're really good about, you're going to have oil that comes off of your plates.
Just when you clean them.
It ain't no garbage disposal. Surely you're not doing that. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to have bacteria, mold, nastiness, when fat goes rancid, essentially, it's just nasty. So your gray tank in your kitchen
can be worse. Yeah. And
keep it clean.
I was using the liquefied gray tank treatment, and I think it does work really well. But when I talked to the tank rangers guy, he said, it's fine and it's good, especially if you get a good deal on it. Like they have the buy 2 get 1 free going through the end of the month with our link and free shipping. Like, you got to do that if you're wanting to try liquefied. But he said just use regular tank treatment in there on the regular. Like, you don't have to only use the gray tank treatment, but he said it's good for when you have a problem, like dose it hard. And that's where that comes in really well. And they have like a sensor treatment one. He said that's good if you're just having a problem in there. He said dump the whole bottle in there, put a bunch of water, let it slosh around, and it'll really loosen up a lot of the problems. So I thought that was a good tip.
Another guy, because we had a couple repair guys that came out to help with the tank situation, but he said that whole thing of putting ice.
Oh yeah, he said don't do that.
He said do not do that. Because we got on the obvious topic. Because I mean, if you think about it, if our tank would have fallen out while we were driving,
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, that could have I could have totaled our rig. It could have totaled a car behind us. It would have been a bad scene. But he was just saying, don't travel with full tanks.
Yeah,
don't do that.
It's so much as you can avoid it. And it's hard because like we're here right now, we're going to have to drive about 20 minutes with full tank. We're not totally full though, to the dump station before we go to our next location. And we've been at boondocking spots that we had to drive almost an hour to a dump station. So it's not good. You just need to, that's why we're shedding a bunch of weight, so that, because we know when we have full tanks, we're overweight. So it's really important for you to know your weight if you're going to be letting your tanks, if you're boondocking and going to have full tanks and need to drive somewhere. So,
okay. I want to make sure that we get everybody.
No, this is where we're at right now. Yeah, she was talking about the solar. We're out of time though, so I'm trying to get to everybody. Gigi, the factory repaired our floor. We did not do it ourselves. Just so you know.
Okay. Natalie was saying, he said that they're mounted higher, talking about those bifacial panels.
Yeah.
Okay. Occasionally you will see people that have like the real serious boondockers. They'll have a raised, in fact, I was able to do an interview with,
Dan
Hemming, the solar expert guy, while we were at Bash. And that video will be coming out soon. But we were actually able to use the RV of a guy. I never actually met him. He just let us use his RV. He has one of these raised panels. So basically, like a rack system. It goes up slightly above the air conditioners, and so in that case, then you're not tilting, but you still have the bifacial panels underneath and the sun can reflect off the roof. Maybe that's what he was talking about. Okay. Refresh my memory. Did you get the floor repaired?
I already answered that one. It was about the flooring. I just said that one.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think you're Allison upgraded to a 480 watt electric remote start generator. Nice. We have a remote start generator, but we don't have it charged up, so we can't remote start.
Yeah, that's my one big complaint with my Onan portable generator is that it has a push button start on it, but the battery goes dead all the time, and it's been doing that since I first bought it. It's like, so if you don't use your generator very much, when you need to use your generator and you need to use it, you go out and push the button and nothing happens because the battery went dead. And so I can either sit and charge the battery or I can just yank on the chain. And so I end up yanking on the chain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's kind of a fail. I don't know what, and you would think that the battery would charge with the generator when the generator starts, and charge itself up. No, doesn't do that. Come on, guys.
Yeah. What about water? I don't know what that was in reference to. How about water? Let me know what that was. I saw a video on something about someone poured a couple of bags of ice. So that's what we're talking about. We have been told by multiple techs not to do that. And I don't really think it works, to be honest. That's a really cheap, I think it's a homemade way of doing it. But if you got stuff festering in there, some ice knocking it around isn't going to do the trick. You need to do some proper cleaning with the right chemicals to get it right.
This did not go over the AC, but it said it would go over all of our vents. Interesting though, if it doesn't really up elevating 3 or 4 inches. Okay, yeah, we're talking about different things. You should start your generator at least once a month, I'm thinking. Yeah, absolutely.
Really
I have not been great about doing that. I know we actually had the Onan 5500. We had an old one that we bought.
The onboard
generator, those old green ones that you see in everybody's. Hated it, mainly because it was old and it was really...
Ours was stinky. It's not like the newer ones. The newer ones, I think, are a lot quieter, a lot more efficient. Ours was just
terrible. Well they should be, because they're very expensive. They're
very heavy.
They're 300 pounds dead weight. So I like the portable generators. I just do. I don't know.
You can get them a little ways away from your rig. So like right now, there's no one around us. So we can take that generator and kind of get it away from us, so that like if we're watching TV, it's not like right up in our business. You know what I mean?
And it's a dual fuel. I was real anti-gas for a long time, but propane, it actually doesn't provide as much power. Propane, obviously, it's a little more expensive to get, and it's more of a challenge to find it. If you could just use non-ethanol gas, which I am shocked that there's not any pure gas in Quartzsite.
It's not. You got to drive like an hour and something just to get it.
What the heck? There's side-by-sides all over the place down here. All these guys that have motorcycles and all these small engines, and you're thinking, of all the places you think that there would be a pure gas, like a Maverick station, but there's not. So I had to go against my rule. I just bought high-octane gas, but you never want to leave. I just don't use non-ethanol gas at all, or ethanol gas if I can avoid it, because it can gum up your carburetor and it can ruin your generator, basically, or ruin your carburetor, and that's an expensive repair.
Yeah.
But yes, you should start your generator once a month, 100%. That's called exercising your generator. Yeah. And it is definitely a thing that
keeps it healthy. We probably should have done it way more. It's tricky because like we hadn't been boondocking for like the longest time. We had been at campgrounds the whole time. And, it's like, you just got to find a good time during the day, to run it, because you need to run it for like 30 minutes. And when you're in a campground, everybody's like, why are you running your generator? But it's
actually,
like
nobody says that.
But it's
but Darlene thinks that they're thinking it.
But it just depends. If obviously your neighbors are sitting outside having a drink, or I don't think you should run your generator when they're sitting there.
These types of things have always been a point of contention between Darlene and me.
I am thoughtful of the people around me, probably too much, but if they're all inside, it's like, who cares, you know, kind of thing. But if they're out, then I'm always a little conscious of that. But
so that's what we've got going on, which is a lot. We just kind of barely touched on things.
Yeah.
But you guys had some good questions.
You did have some good questions tonight.
Help out.
Our plan right now is we're southwest, probably the rest of January, February. And as the weather starts getting warm here, we'll start heading north. And we'll probably go up through California, Oregon, and then we're hoping to be in Washington State for this summer.
Yeah, and hitting Montana, because there's definitely some core states that we haven't seen. We've never been to.
Well, we haven't really stayed.
We haven't been to the Tetons.
No, but I'm not doing that in the summer. So
we got to go there at some point.
Maybe shoulder season. We'll try to hit it before it gets cold again. But I think we'll probably be west for quite a while, and then we'll be doing what Barry's doing, is flying back to see our family instead of taking our whole rig across the country again. We're just not about it.
Yeah, that's definitely something new that we're going to try. But we're not pushing credit cards. No, Capital One wants to sponsor us. We're all about it. But no, we've been using that Capital One, whatever.
It's the Venture travel card.
But would love the points thing, because my flight cost us $11.
Yeah, it was great. And we still have points enough to fly us for our daughter's graduating in Ohio in May. So that should cover all of that as well. So it's kind of a bonus of what traveling and putting everything on that one card and just constantly paying it off. We get all those points. So
we did get a late start. So I want to make sure that if you have any other questions, please fire away.
Yeah. We'll stay on a little longer if you still have something.
What else?
We'll post where we're at. I right now have absolutely no idea on the timeline. We have a couple of places. We're gonna hit Santa Barbara in California. We're gonna hit Klamath in California. Well, obviously going through Oregon. There's so many things that we did when we did our whole Oregon coast summer a couple years ago that we didn't have the channel then. And so I would love to go back and show people what we did, because we did some awesome hikes. We saw some awesome places. So yeah, we'll see if we pull that off. So yeah, exactly. I love that Venture X card. It's just, we had the Costco card before, we had the American Airlines card, and this one, just the points conversion is so much better. So
yeah, and I mean, the American Airlines card, that was definitely one of those things where we were sitting on a flight and they
got us.
They did the whole pitch for the credit card like they always do, and I listened to the pitch and I was like, wow,
60,000 points.
That's actually a pretty good deal just for signing up for a credit card. It was like a lot of miles, and so we did that one for a while and it worked out, but we got a better deal with this one.
Yeah.
But we're big fans of only using credit cards on the road. Do not use your debit card.
Yeah, I don't.
If just use that at an ATM. I mean, we rarely pull out cash anymore for anything, but we just credit cards are just safer to use on the road, because obviously if there's fraud, which, occasionally
we've had it once,
you get that call from the security from the credit card. It's like, Mr. Nicholson, or are you just in Saskatchewan and bought a
rental car,
a piece of jewelry with your no, sir, that was not me.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're protected.
Yeah. I think that's it. Guys. So well, as always, constantly post your questions in the group. We'll definitely try to answer everything.
Someone tried to use my card at McDonald's in Egypt.
Is that all? You think they would do something a little better than that? Right. Oh, that's funny. But if anybody has any trouble logging in, we had a little issue. I think we got it fixed. Please let us know. John, if you're still on, please let me know if you have he couldn't find his login. You can always reset it.
Yeah, always reset.
Yeah. But please let us know anytime there's a glitchy anything. We'll get on it. It happens with websites.
Me and ChatGPT will figure it out.
Okay, guys, it's always wonderful chatting with you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.